Let's see if we are live. And I think we should be, with a bit of luck. Let me just check stuff out. Let us know, guys, if you are in the chat, if we are live. Sorry about my voice. Going to apologize immediately off the bat. Oh, I'm back, actually. I'm historian with a wave. Have we got anybody in here? There's me and I'm historian. Oh, James Clark is in here. Let's have a look. I love LC is in here. Tony Katowski's cargo shorts is in here. Sup Dog is in here. Simon Rangelov is in here. Phil Woody is in the mother fluffing house. And so is Krieger. Guys, how you doing? Might be a bit of a quick one tonight, guys. As you can probably hear, my voice is a little ropey. I screamed myself absolutely sick last night at Europe's Strongest Man in the Leeds Arena. For anybody who saw the event, hell of a show. Hell of a show. Hope everybody's good. I am absolutely knackered. A couple of things I can confirm, ladies and gents. I can't do it like I used to. That is the case. Went for an Indian last night with Eddie Hall, believe it or not. And quite a late one, to say the least. Quite a late night with a 27 stone, 173 kilo. Eddie Hall looked a big boy last night, did Eddie? Yeah, Europe's Strongest Man. If you haven't checked it out, get over to www. Oh, wait a minute, we might be having a guest join us in a minute. Oh, or not, as the case may be. Yeah, get yourself over to Official Strongman and check that show out if you haven't already seen it. Sorry. I'm just sending a link out, guys, for anybody who's just messaging me there. That is on its way. We might be getting a couple of guests tonight. May not also, guys, just to let everybody know. And the reason for that is because I didn't really send any invites out because I didn't know whether I was going to be in any kind of condition to do tonight's show. But I figured I'd jump in anyway, take a few minutes with you guys and make sure I'm keeping myself up to speed with what's going on in the game of Iron Arms. AMC tournament, look, nuts. I haven't actually caught all of the show, but I've seen highlights, checked some stuff out, and it looked like that was an incredible event. I saw Alan Zolev doing his thing. Wow, what a powerhouse that kid is. Absolutely unbelievable. Really good as well to see Zurab getting a result. And one of the guys who may drop into tonight's show if he's around is RVJ. And I would actually love to hear Rob's thoughts if he's seen Zurab's performance there, because that was a hell of a performance. Zurab looked amazing. His win over Sagoff looked ridiculous. White Wolf with a quick super chat, mate. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Might be a little bit of a quick one. What Neil's wife is used to hearing. You're not lying, son. What's up, Neil? Just taking the piss, or taking our piss. Hopefully, it's all right, mate. It's not dodgy unless we make eye contact. Hope you're well, mate. I'm all right, buddy. I'm all right. I'm knackered, if I'm honest. I'm absolutely, truly, and completely ruined. Last night, burning the candle at both ends seemed like a really good idea. I haven't actually seen Eddie or been out on a night out with Ed for a while. Just diary clashes and stuff like that, but I haven't seen a lot of Eddie, and it was nice to catch up with Ed last night and just shoot the shit and have some fun for a change. There was a few stories there as well. We ended up getting in a restaurant that had closed, but they kindly opened up the place for us. There was only like 5 or 6 of us there, and they opened up the place, let us in, and that was really nice of them. So yeah, good evening. It was a good evening, but a late evening. I can't do it anymore. It writes me off. So very busy weekend for me, guys, hence the voice sounding a little bit ropey and me being completely knackered. Hey, Historians just put Svetan had some crazy matches. You know what, mate? I haven't seen Svetan's performance yet. I saw some of that class, but not a great deal of it. Who did he pull? Give us some comments in the chat. Who did Svetan face? Did he face the likes of Alan Zalaev or not? Just keep my eye on the chat for that. Todd and always love Chow with a super chat, always supporting arm wrestling and the risk takers who bring us amazing events. Thanks. And yeah, really appreciate your support. Todd and always love Chow. Really do, mate. And while we're on the subject of thanks, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who is a member of subscriber to this channel and also the Arm Wars channel, particularly the members on the Arm Wars channel. I've had a lot of really, really positive messages from the members of the Arm Wars YouTube channel. People are really loving the extra exclusive members only content there, and that's nice to hear, guys. I really appreciate all the messages we've been getting, and all the messages about who Devon's going to be pulling at Dark Card 2. A lot of guesses came in on Friday. Sorry, I haven't responded to a lot of those of you who did send them in. No right guesses yet, though. I've got to be honest with you. No right guesses. I'm not going to tell you if anybody does guess it right, but there has been no one who has guessed correctly yet. Devon's classy finger. Looking forward to meet you in Istanbul. Oh, mate, brilliant. Yeah, I'll be over there. I'm going to have to keep drinking the water tonight because my throat is completely shagged. But yeah, I will be over there and I'm looking forward to it, mate. I think there's some great matches coming up. Now, the message that just came through there on the chat has also just come up here on the live chat. And it's about a fake match, apparently, between Larratt and Silayev. I would have to go and watch it, guys. Haven't actually seen that. The matches that I saw one win for Silayev, and it looked to me like Larratt led down, and then I saw Larratt murder Silayev in a top roll. So I haven't seen the fake match that people are referring to yet. I will get a chance to check it out, hopefully. And for that reason, I'm not going to comment on whether it was fake or not because I have literally no idea. Let's have a look. Thomas Miles, ready to see you pull, Neil. Mate, I would love to be able to pull again, but it might be a while. I need to get the old stem cells and exosomes. Funny story on that one, which I'll not go into because it's more strongman related. But last night, to cut a long story short, was backstage at Europe's Strongest Man, and like a penis, decided I would try to just muck about. A couple of my mates were over there with us, and tried to muck about on like the training log, the practice log, warm up log, and just at the end of the night, and completely ruined my wrist in doing so. Only really cleaned it to my chest and destroyed my wrist. Really hurt my wrist actually. So that was a dick move. Not a good idea. Also, not a good idea in shiny, slippy shoes and in a three-piece suit. But yeah, it was great last night. The Europe's Strongest Man started with a ladder, log ladder, and the man who went on to win the event, who I will tell you guys a little bit about as we go through tonight, because he is an arm wrestler, believe it or not. His name is Pavlo Koryaka. He's a Ukrainian athlete, newcomer, really hot talent in strongman. And also, I had extensive conversations with Pavlo Koryaka over this weekend about the sport of arm wrestling, and he absolutely loves it. Did I just see Tommy Holland in our chat there? I'm sure I did. Lean Machine Arm Wrestling. Tom Holland is in the chat. Tom, I might even fire Tom the link. Should I send Tom the link? Let's get Tom the link sent over while we're on here. See if he wants to join. Tom, if you're around, mate, just flash up in the chat if you want to join. I'll ping you the link over. Let's have a look. Who we've got in here tonight. And I really do apologise off the bat, guys, for the voice. It is diabolical. I saw a good live today also, guys. If you haven't seen it, Aussie Arm Wrestler was on with the big Swede, Tobias, who's got to face Larratt very, very soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing that match because that's a more interesting match than people might assume, particularly on that left hand. Tobias is a great hand and wrist. And hand and wrist is a weapon, particularly when it's backed up with a lot of speed, which that young man has got. So I'm really interested to see the outcome of that. I don't think it's as clear cut as a lot of people think. I had some. I got asked for a prediction on there, and I gave the prediction. I do see Larratt as a 60-40 favourite, but it's not black and white. There's a lot more grey than there is black and white in that match, for damn sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down. Not to mention the big matches, and I believe that Devon nailed a lot of people with an April Fool's about his thumb this weekend. The son of a monkey. I'll just send this to Tommy Holland while I'm talking to you guys. Copy link. And I'll ping that over. Aussie Arm Wrestler is in the chat. Jake, no, good chat with him today, mate. I only caught a bit of it, to be perfectly honest. I was traveling back up and I was sporadically in and out. I tried to go on to a couple of the shows where I could, but I was in and out of the place. And God, this tickly cough's pissing me off. I was in and out of the place, so I didn't get a chance to hear all the show, but what I did catch there, pretty interesting stuff, and good to see Tobias Sparong on there and him getting a little bit of love. What I didn't catch was, did he say why he'd been away? Because I didn't know whether he'd taken a serious injury or what, but he's been out for a little while, and it's always interesting to understand why people have decided to take time out of the game, particularly the young up-and-comers. I'm just sending Tom Holland that link. Hopefully Tom gets that. I'll also ping it over to him on WhatsApp. Bear with me, gentlemen and ladies who are on here. Fire that over. I've had one other request for a link, and I will fire that over there as well. John Nello is coming with a super chat. Neil, the membership on Arm Wars is hands down the best membership on YouTube. Really happy I got it. Keep killing it. Excited for what's next. Joel, thank you, mate. You know what? I'm getting a lot of messages saying exactly that same thing. We're getting a lot of messages saying that same thing, that the membership on Arm Wars, people didn't know how good it was. So, yeah, thank you. Really appreciate that. And it's nice to hear from the guys that are members that they're enjoying that content. And we're going to be upping the bar on that one. We're going to be raising the bar and doing a lot more for our YouTube channel members, mate. We have another dark card, just to let people know what's coming. We got another dark card coming in May. Early May target there. We'd be putting the stream out there once we get it up to the required quality. I would think anywhere between sort of the probably 15th and 20th of May, sometime around there. Devon Larratt will be over for that, and it should be a very exciting matchup, very unique matchup, interesting matchup with a guy that's got a massive amount of experience, and I'm keen to see how that goes. We may see him pull right-handed, definitely left-handed. So it's going to be a left-hand focus, as a lot of the card is. And we're looking for some other really big matches on there. I'm trying to pull together a couple of really nice matches for the members on there for the dark card. So keep your eyes open for that, guys. Just making sure that Tom has got that. Tom Holland, if you're still in the chat, should be sending that to you now, matey. If you want the link, it is on its way. So keep your eyes open. And with a bit of luck, that gets to you. Let's have a look who else we got in here. And just also, I better just check we haven't had anybody try and join in there. So, AMC tournament. Let's talk about that a little bit also. Who were you most impressed with? Because I was impressed with a number of people on there. I do feel sorry for some of the guys at the moment that are not getting the rub of the green. One of those is Krasimir Kostadinov. I feel like he's taking quite a bit of stick at the moment, Krasi. Undeservedly so, because Krasimir, people are saying, oh, you know, he's not what he used to be. And it's quite interesting to me because Krasimir is one of those guys that's always there or thereabouts. He took a tough loss early after being dominant in the first start. It looked like he got sucked into a very, very fast and tight press by Artem Tainov. For those people who are new to Artem Tainov, because he hasn't featured in the likes of East versus West, King of the Table, we're talking about a guy with real pedigree. And he looked extremely big, extremely powerful, and has always been super dangerous. So I think it's interesting that people think that because Krasimir took that loss that he's dropped right off. Because Artem Tainov is a beast, an absolute weapon. So a loss in those circumstances to that man, not necessarily a clear indication of a great deal, but I do appreciate that Krasimir's confidence might be a little down at the moment, might be a little knocked. I feel sorry for the likes of him. I feel sorry for Matt Mask. I think they've both had a little bit of a rough ride recently, and all too well that can damage your confidence. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage to the confidence and they can come back. Z's Guitar account, thanks for your super chat, mate. Just put, hi Neil, since you're a short staff today, mind sending Blue an invite. You know what, mate? I wouldn't do that now, to be honest, because Ryan's made it clear that he wants he doesn't want to get involved in the fix anymore. Just to let people know, Ryan was always invited every week to the fix. He chose not to come on. And that's fair enough. You know, Ryan obviously and myself have had a couple of disagreements. I certainly don't hold any grudges. I'm not really interested in that, to be perfectly honest. But I'm also not going to sort of chase Ryan for being involved in the fix. Doesn't really do anybody any good. I'll leave it there. Ryan's doing his own thing. Good luck to the lad. And I'll continue to do mine. Let's have a look. Just make sure I've not missed anybody's chats or anything there. Okay, thanks for the people that have checked us out tonight. As I say, sorry, probably be a little bit of a short one. Buzzard's Roost is in here. Long-time supporter of the channel and also of Arm Wars. Good to see you in here, mate. Adnan and all the usual suspects, RHCP. So, one other question I wanted to ask the chat. What do you guys think of Zurab's performance? Because, my God, that guy looked so impressive to me. He really, really did. He looked ridiculously powerful. The man has leveled up. And I think that is going to be very, very interesting at East versus West, because I know that there's some work going in from Paul Lynn with RBJ, some advice there from a number of the people that have been close to and have frequented the East versus West events. But I don't know about you guys. I thought that from what I saw this weekend, that old Zurab Giga Chad had really stepped himself up. He looked supremely confident. It's not just a physical thing for me. When you see sometimes an arm wrestler seems to be in a very calm, relaxed state whenever they're at the table, I think the level of activity that Zurab's been having has really allowed him to step his game up. And I think he looks rock strong right now. I really do. I think he looks a very, very confident lad. And that gives a great opportunity to Rob. If Rob can go in there, and everybody knows that I've bigged up Rob a lot as a very unique arm wrestler. Whoop. I just tried to let somebody in there. I'm assuming that might have been Tom. Mate, I did accept there, but you maybe dropped off. If that was you, just dial in again, mate, because for some reason it dropped you off. I was just saying, I've championed Rob a great deal as a very unique arm wrestler with a massive amount of weapons. And what I would say is, with this match that's coming up at East versus West, it gives a mega opportunity. After taking a loss against another incredibly powerful puller. Oh, here we go. In Sasho Andreev. To then get the shot at Zurab, if he can put that right, if he can make that stick, when Zurab's in such incredible form, which he clearly is, I really think that would put him right back in the mix. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear wearing shades. Spermie's ass is creamy with the 279 super chat with a load of emoji shit going on. Nice. Thanks for your super chat, pal. Rob Vigent Jr. on the move in the mother fluffing house. Did you catch that this weekend, Rob? See any of the...
No, somebody ruined my morning by sending me a video.
Mate, I'll tell you what, Zurab looked great. He looked really, really strong. Looked like he leveled up.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I took from it. That I'm seeing a guy that's just in better shape and more proficient than he was even a few months back.
Yeah, I was literally just saying, I'm sure you didn't hear it with being on the road and so on, mate, but I was literally just saying before you get on, it's not just a physical. You know, when you're pulling regularly and you're really hitting your stride, everything's just working for you. Yep. And it seemed to me that Zurab looked probably the most calm guy in the room. He was right there. There was a pace and an intensity, as there often is at the AMC events, you know, and any of the main draw events, because of the fact that it's, you know, you've got the one bullet and out thing. People seem to be really, really revved and gunned to the max and going for it flat out. Zurab had a really almost sinister calmness about him. Really confidence, bristling with confidence. And I think that's down to the fact that he's been so active. He's been unbelievably active recently. And I think it's a thing. He looked really good. And that gives you a hell of an opportunity. Obviously, you pulled Sasho, who is the cream of the crop in that environment. Now you're going to pull another guy who seems right in his stride. So if you could put the tumble on him, you're back in the picture in a very big way. In a very big way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. All I saw originally this morning was a video of the way he ran through Zoloev. And I'd be lying if I say it didn't give me knots in my stomach.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
You know, I don't know what the stories are on how they met, but as I said in the group text, like, I hold Zoloev to a very high standard, like, always. And weight's not something that seems to matter for him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think he's one of the best overall pullers we've ever seen. And to see a guy run through him the way he did, like I said, I mean, I have no ill will on anybody. But if he came back and told me, you know, guys, that happened because I got full-blown AIDS or something, I would definitely feel better.
Yeah.
Because something didn't seem right there. I mean, I've never seen that happen with that dude.
There was a real consummate ease with some of the victories he had. I mean, obviously, there's always other circumstances. I mean, there were some people will always play the highlight. You know, they'll play the highlight of Alan Zulayev beating Sergei Bogoslov in the overall and so on. And you know, it'll run and run. Would that happen if Bogoslov's 100% fresh and ready and not had screaming career enders with a couple of people? Maybe not. Maybe. You never know. That's the excitement and the sort of uncertainty of any main draw competition. But if you looked at the performance from Zurab, it was impressive. And he got some incredible wins throughout this weekend. Wins against, like you say, running through Zulayev. Wins on Sagov. I want to say that Ibrahim was the reigning champion. Don't quote me, but I think he was the defending champion from the last gig, from the last AMC. Somebody in the chat will know. But really impressive, mate. Top to bottom, Zurab looked very, very solid, and he looked in a really, really calm headspace. Very, very good demeanor. Super match is different, you know. I'm going to say that I wouldn't ordinarily, however, think that Zurab's style is great for a main draw competition. He's the type of guy that looks like they're going to get stuck in matches, you know. So every credit to the lad. He did really well. There was good enough data to pull out of it. I mean, I saw, you know, was it Tainov that actually got the pin on him? Yes, I think it was Tainov. Yeah, I haven't actually seen that.
I mean, he was able to crack him in the straps and you know, kind of come through him a little bit, which it's always nice to see someone humanized. And I know Tainov is a world champion himself and has an incredible resume, so it's not like he's some greaseball, but it's nice to see someone humanized, because when I saw that video of him running over Zoloev, for whatever reason, it was a little bit unsettling.
Yeah. And there's always that, you know, I mean, you know it all too well, mate, but at that level, if you manage to initiate first, it's funny, people think that a lot of arm wrestling matches, some people think that arm wrestling matches are necessarily nailed on. And I personally see there's a lot more grey in arm wrestling results than black and white. And if you look across the piece there, I mean, at one side, we're pouring scorn onto Krasimir Kostadinov, that Krasi's not that guy, ain't that strong, ain't that good. He's strong. On the first start against Artem Tainov, he had him in all kinds of trouble, you know. Tainov was got a little bit of hand control back at the base, but the initiation came from Krasimir. They then went in the straps. Tainov put a load of back pressure in and then reverted into a really tight, hard driving shoulder press, and he nailed the pin. But the facts are that Krasimir off the first start was right there. So the margins are fine.
Well, like you're saying too, like every guy in that class is of elite level. So the worst guy in that class is still an elite puller.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like each one of those guys individually, if you grab them, they're super fucking rock stars. They're superstars. So, I mean, Artem Tainov, I mean, I remember years and years ago when he came over here for the Arnold Classic at the 176 class. And he was already a well-known name, well-established world champion coming from being a junior world champion just years before.
Yeah.
You know, but so like these guys, this is why we've talked about this a bunch of times when someone who's a champ losing to another world level champ, how does that hurt their status as far as like the sum total? You know what I mean? But Krasny got a couple good grinds in there. Paul Lynn had sent me the whole tournament, the whole 95 class. So I saw Krasny's pulls, and of course, people forget somebody that's like was super, super powerful, like Bogoslav, or I hope that I said that right. But I haven't seen him in a long time. But when he was running good, he was the dude everyone talked about.
Mate,
he was the guy that put the brakes on Tally and everybody.
He looked really solid. He just, as we said earlier, you know, you're in something that deep, that wide. If you're in a class of that kind of magnitude, then you are going to get the brakes put on you, particularly when you're a guy that likes to pull the inside, as Bogoslav does. But he did get tied up. He did get into some absolute grinders. Doesn't take many of them, and you know your day is not going to go well. You know, you want to put people away. Maybe there's an argument there that, you know, Zurab had a sweet draw and he ran into people at the right time. I'm not going to make that claim. That's not a hill I'm going to die on because I haven't watched the event closely enough in the progression. I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to go back, but I've traveled back from Europe's Strongest Man today. So I haven't really had a chance to analyze it in more detail. But I wanted to give credit where it's due to Zurab. Zurab's a really nice dude. And he's obviously, at the moment, he's right in his groove. He's pulling very, very well, and it showed. It looked impressive. We just had a super chat in from NWUK1. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. He's put, just showing support, Neil. Thank you, mate. The fix is always essential viewing. Looking forward to the next dark card. Will that be before or after Devon versus Gennady? RVJ in the house now means anything can happen. It will be after Devon and Gennady, mate. We're going to be doing that. I wanted to actually get Engin over for the dark card. Doesn't look like that's going to be possible, but there's a good chance we're going to see Engin Terzi over for an Arm Wars dark card later this year. So we'll see how that goes down if he can get himself a little bit fit. There is a chance. I'm trying to talk RVJ to coming over for the dark cards. You never know. Shh, don't tell them. You be quiet.
See, I don't know.
You never do know. You never know. Hey, we got Geordie Chocolate Thunder Williams in the chat. And I might send Geordie the link. Have I got Geordie's? I might send Geordie the link and we'll get Chocolate Thunder on here as well and have a bit of fun with him. But, mate, if you get a chance to check out the AMC thing, it's well worth having a look. It is well.
Yeah, I've been away all weekend. I just watched the 95 kilo Zurab's class. I didn't see any of the other classes. I didn't see, you know, I think they did an overall similar to Zloty.
Mm-hmm.
But I did recognize a lot of the guys in there just from watching Worlds and Europeans. Like you said, you can always speculate your way. And I think speculation is a wonderful thing that you've got to, I'm much in your line of thinking. I don't think that wins and losses are as simple as that.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, too, you could speculate and do that, but you can't totally gray result. At some point in time, you've got to respect the result, too, and say, well, you're right. This could have happened. That could have happened. But this is what happened. And we could do that with every event in the history of the world that we could have said if. At the end of the day, if Zurab wasn't a bad mamma jamma, like, luck, he can't luck his way through that bracket. He's got to be of that caliber at the very least, even if he had great draws. I mean, to me, when I look at the Zurab that we saw pull Ron and John, even on a physical level, he's like harder, he's leaner, he's more vascular. He looks like more. He was thick and a little smooth when he pulled those guys like a year or so ago. Now he's got like a leanness to him at the same weight. He looks more tuned.
Yeah, and he's not a big physically imposing man in terms of frame. But there's few men with more muscle power. I mean, you faced one of them in Sasho. You know what I mean? But he's that kind of ilk. He's not the big frame guy necessarily, but god damn, he's thick. Unbelievably thick, powerfully built individual. And let's be honest, with someone who has got that kind of frame disadvantage, if you can hang in there and do something with like John Brzenk, you give him anything, good on you. Because John gets a solid position in the hand and wrist. He's a horrific individual to pull against. So for Zurab to be able to do anything when he's in that kind of scenario, I can't take my hat off far enough. You know, with no hand control, almost like Sasho, he's got that ability to keep grinding, keep driving sideways hard. And the man's horsepower is beyond question. Doug Ehrlich in the mother fluffing house. How you doing, dude?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
The clock is counting down, son, and it's almost time. What is it, 5 weeks off now?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, 4 weeks of training left.
4 weeks of training left. Apologies for the voice, guys. My throat's a bit shagged from last night at the old Europes. But yeah, it's closing in. We've just been talking about Zurab as Silky Wilkie just fires a super chat in. Thanks, mate. Silky Wilkie, thanks for your support. Been a great supporter of the channel recently. He's put, if you do get Engin lined up, make sure you put him against a desperation mover. I'd like to see how he solves a Kings. Mate, I would never do that to Engin again. Engin was in a crazy Kings move match at the WAF Worlds in 2001. Actually scrapped his elbow, damaged his elbow for a long period of time. And don't quote me on it again, but I think it was the start of a lot of issues for Engin, potentially surgery for Engin on the back of that. Because
I think I talked about that. I had mentioned that recently because I know that Engin did a long time, maybe even still, of really hating on the Kings move because he damaged himself against the Kings mover. I remember watching that video.
Yeah, it was a back and forth screamer in the finals of the World Championships in 2001 Italy. Unbelievable battle, and left him with some serious damage in his elbow. So one of the things with all the guys that have had heavy elbow damage, you don't want to get into that kind of environment again. You can bugger up the career. So I would like to think that Engin gets some good results from the old stem cells. Hear good things all the time about that. I saw a show the other day with Paul Italia. If you've not checked out Paul Italia yet and you're in the chat, guys, get over there, check out Paul Italia's show. He had some solid guests on there the other day. Mike Gould, Devon Larratt, Jerry Cadd, John Brzenk, and they were talking about stem cells, exosomes. That is something I need to find a way of sorting out because I'll tell you what, my wrist is completely knackered. So I need to find a way of getting it sorted out. Just so I was pissing about last night at Europe's Strongest Man, Rob, and I tried to pick up the light training log and buggered up my wrist again. Literally just playing as well, not doing anything super intense, just mucking about with the thing. But just as it rolled back, scrapped my wrist big time. Geordie Chocolate Thunder in the house.
What is up? Can y'all see me?
Yeah,
we see you, man.
I'll tell you what. Can you turn your phone on its side, Jody? Not going to ask Rob to do that because Rob's driving. Don't keep your hands on the wheel, goddammit.
How's that?
I'm a passenger. I could do it. There
Here
we
we
go.
go. Oscar Maldonado. He's put fatal four-way. Engin versus Blue. Bowen versus Neil versus Pradeep. Oh, wait a minute. I read that wrong. Engin versus Blue Bowen and Neil versus Pradeep. Me versus Pradeep. I will take that game match now with the bad wrist. I'm very confident in that match. I will be all right with that one. And I think Pradeep wouldn't want that match. Even now, to be honest, I wouldn't want that match with Pradeep either. It's not fair. It's not even a level playing field. I think Pradeep's like like an 80 or 90 kilo guy, something like that.
Has Pradeep ever partaken in a tournament before?
You know, I don't know. I think he pulls. But I don't know what level he pulls at. But I don't think he's a hardcore arm wrestler. But he may pull. Does anybody know if Pradeep pulls? I think he pulls, but I don't know at what level. I really don't. Not a Scoob. Maybe he does.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, Jody, how's your health after Arm Wars, mate? Are the elbows all right now?
Oh, I'm back to training.
Full range of motion?
Oh yeah.
Oh, mate, I tell you what. for those of you who aren't Arm Wars channel members, and you didn't see this guy go to work in the on the weekend itself, a lot more matches coming from Jody Chocolate Thunder Williams. Holy shit. He got in. Couldn't hold his dick.
Hey, you know what? The thing is, though, is that
it was funny.
The narrative where it says Arm Wars, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to dive in there and let's see where it goes. And I remember you asking me, why'd you do that in round 1? Hey.
It was funny though, watching you and you're like, ready to go again. I was like, oh my God. Trying to straighten your arms out, but I'm glad you've no lasting damage. You and Mika, I was a little bit worried about. I didn't know whether Mika's going to recover in 23. I'll tell you what, mate, he had some battles, didn't he, poor bastard? He really did. Oh, funny stuff.
I think next time I'll bring a towel to get all the sweat off my face, because that was yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a bit of a Toddzilla there, mate. So
yeah,
Jody, first time we've had you on the fix, mate, and I wanted to just get a bit of insight, ideally highly biased insight. Oh, remember, if you're on the fix, you have to agree with everything we say. Apparently, that is not allowed to.
Is that the rule?
Can't do it. No, it's banned. Not allowed to disagree, right? But highly biased predictions on how these guys are going to do it East versus West. Who have you got, Zurab or RVJ? How do you see that going?
The honest person would say probably Zurab, because we've seen more of him. We haven't seen RVJ in a while, but that doesn't mean he's not training, right? That doesn't mean, and now RVJ is taking this more seriously before, because, hey, he's training with Jerry now. There's footage out there. So when you're training with somebody who's the East versus West heavyweight champ, he's taking it seriously. So for some people to say that, RVJ hasn't pulled since, I don't know what, Sasha was, I think, his last opponent. I might be wrong with that. But just because you don't see him competing on a regular basis doesn't mean he's not training. So you got to take that, in consideration. I think, and RVJ, you may correct me, and if I'm wrong, please do so. I think there's a chip on his shoulder to prove all the naysayers wrong, that, look, I never left. I just took some time off for whatever reason. That's his business. But I think he has something to prove. So it's kind of like that. It's almost like with Doug's match, came onto the scene. Oh, yeah, Doug hasn't pulled so much longer. What happened? Doug wiped the floor with his opponent. So who's to say they can't happen the same way with RVJ? That's just my opinion.
One thing you got to say about Rob, and I'm going to say the same thing about Doug in a minute as well. He's not taking any easy matches, is he? If you say, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm just stepping away from the sport a little while. I'm going to have a little while off, and then I'm going to come back and pull someone. So he takes a little while off, then comes back and pulls Sasha Andreev, and then takes a little while off, comes back and pulls Zurab. If you're gonna pick a couple of pretty difficult matches, those two would do it. I mean, they're pretty.
Yeah, no layup. No layup there.
Well, what makes it exciting is the fact that when you bring Doug and you bring RVJ into the fold, and you bring all the Paul Lynn, Adam Warzinski, now we got some guys that can counteract what they put out as far as the Team East team, if that makes sense. We got guys we can counteract that,
Well, Adam, I don't actually know how strong Adam is. Adam's that guy that has always been there, and he's had impressive results, and you've seen him do good things, and he went over and he pulled, I don't believe it was a top form, Bojidar. Nevertheless, that doesn't really detract from Adam's performance, because Adam, whilst he was way bigger, was unbelievably comfortable. I mean, he was riding through the match against Bojidar. And Bojidar, right, when he's not in good form, is still an absolute wrecking ball. So regardless of where Bojidar was at, the level of commitment, what it does say is that Adam is rock strong, and I'm not sure how strong. I really don't know. But I am super keen to see where that guy's level is. He may be way better than we think.
Right. Well, anytime you're on one of these big organizations, these big promotions, there's no gimmies. I mean, anytime they put you out there, Ingen handpicks you, and Ingen, just like yourself, Neil, I want to know what makes a good match. So how about we do this guy and that guy, put them together and see what happens. So there's going to be no gimmies, first and foremost. You got to come with your A+ game, and I think these guys who've been handpicked to go ahead and do that, I think they've they've known long before the matches were announced.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they got to jump on the training and stuff like that. And I think those guys will be ready mentally and physically.
Well, it's funny. I spoke to Bourgeois just after the event and before the event, actually, when we were out there, and I said, "Okay, where you at, mate? Where's your form?" And he said, "I'm not going to lie. I'm not able to work as hard, and I'm not being as focused as I could be. But I feel okay. I'll try my best." But there was compared with the guy that I've seen at other events and the guy who was at Arm Wars and so on, he was definitely lacking a little bit of confidence. Now that may be for a variety of reasons. He's a very stoic guy. He didn't really talk about that, but you could tell that his confidence wasn't there. But what he did say was that after the match, he said Adam felt phenomenal, felt very, very strong. He rated him very, very highly. So, I mean, you might have some more insight. Do you know much about Adam, Doug? Is he a guy that you've pulled, or is he someone you know a great deal about?
I've never pulled him. I honestly, I don't know much about him. I know his right arm is like freakishly big compared to his left. I mean, you don't really notice until you see him in person. His hand is
structure, isn't it? He's a big, thick set dude.
Yeah, his right though is like noticeably bigger than his left.
Yeah.
It's
What about yourself,
Rob?
Have you done anything with Adam? Rob, have you pulled with Adam?
Oh no, I've never even been in the same room as him.
Okay.
But I imagine what I took from that match, and then since that match, I've watched a lot of his videos, kind of trying to get a sense of where this guy is. I was very impressed with his polish, how he was able to sit there and remain calm.
Nope. We just.
I saw him I only saw him once. I saw him in 2017 when I pulled Valentin Gospodinov in Jacksonville, and Adam was still new. He was still new, and he went through the class pretty easily.
Well, speaking to him at the event over at East versus West, he said that he'd never really focused a great deal on pulling. His level had always been decent, but he'd never really been throwing it 100% in there. I was speaking with Chad Silvers, who obviously is, for those who don't know Chad Silvers, who are in the chat, Chad Silvers, multiple world champion, extremely experienced guy, very, very high level puller, extremely well rounded. And the excitement that he showed about Adam, he said, "Look, this guy is the real deal. He's phenomenal. I think he can go all the way. He's iron." And he said his biggest thing is if he stops the match and it turns into a grinding hook battle, he's ridiculously difficult to put away. He can go and go. And it may, you do wonder if somebody's just been a bit of a sleeper and has already been getting good results, which he had. How far can that guy go with the right commitment and the right focus? And I do believe that if Adam's given more opportunities and he becomes more and more active, he's a guy that might be another stronghold for the US going forward. He's one of those guys who, the American side of things can really unite behind, and he may turn over some big results.
So I got a question.
Fire, Jody.
Is Doug and RVJ and Adam all you guys are in different weight categories, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm walking around in the low to mid 180s. I mean, I could make 75. I could pull 87. I like pulling 80s, 187, 85 kg because I can walk in heavy.
There's a real chance that you could see RVJ and Adam in the same class.
Yeah. Well, RVJ, I mean, Adam could make 209. Well, he does make 209. I think that's what he pulled it. I think that's what he had to make to pull Bozador.
Where's Rob standing at right now, Doug?
He's within striking range of the 95 kg. I mean, he's, a good hit away from making it.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a real chance that, although they've never pulled, there's a real chance that, I'm sure that Engin's not going to be matching American versus American at East versus West, but there is there's certainly a chance that at that weight class, Paul, Lynn, Rob, Adam, 3 rock strong contenders in there. Rock strong.
Oh, if those three keep winning, I mean, he's gonna have no choice but to put them up against each other at some point. I mean, everybody wants the title, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I think there's a lot of options for them, though, Doug. You know what I mean? I think there's guys that ain't even roll out yet, such as Sergei Bogoslav, such as
well, the thing is about
Sintanov.
well, the thing about Bacho, is that how you say his name? Sengashvili?
Oh yeah, okay. Really, yeah, he's at this event on left arm, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Bacho and Adam are pulling, right? So, we don't really know Bacho. He's kind of a unknown quantity. Like, I know the Georgians speak really highly of him, but it's just one of those. He's not proven yet. So even if Adam wins, I'm still gonna be like, where is he really at? Because he could be. I mean, if Bacho's as strong as they say he is, I mean, if Adam beats him, that's a big win.
Oh, I think that's as far as I can tell from speaking to the Georgians, I think they're going to see that as a massive win. If he goes over there and cracks Baby Sag, he's going to really come up the ranks, and we'll get a very, very strong bit of feedback from Eastern Europe on that one, because from what they were saying at the last event, this guy's inhumanly strong. So it'll be very interesting to see how Adam deals with him, and if he it's the levels thing, isn't it? If he runs through Adam in a multi-round format, then that kid's obviously a wrecking ball. Because Adam looks like, who could run through Adam from North America? Anyone for that weight?
I don't know. He got hung up by Robbie Russell the weekend before last. Actually, I'll be honest with you, the first time they pulled, I thought it was a pin. Center table. The ref just didn't call it. It was dead center table. It looked like a parallel pin, but the second match went in pretty deep again. I mean, it was another screamer, and then Adam pulled it out. Adam pulled out the first win too, but I thought just by the video it looked like a pin to me.
Were all the matches battles though? Were they all? Did they get into some pretty good screaming pulls? Robbie Russell's strong as frig.
Yeah. And Robbie pulled two classes. He pulled Silvers in the 198 and pulled Adam in the 220s or 242s, whatever it was.
What weight is Robbie now, then? He bigger?
He made 198 to pull it. To pull Chad. He pulled Chad in the 198s and he pulled Adam in the 242s or something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I get to see Robbie Russell later this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Robbie pulling at Monster Factory?
He's pulling Tim Talmadge.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I definitely got Robbie on that one. No offense to Tim, but Robbie's looking fucking strong right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Robbie, when he's on, looks like a very, very difficult guy to deal with. And I heard when we were at the Arm Wars event, just speaking to the guys there that knew of him, and obviously, when Robbie's a guy I'd like to get in Arm Wars actually, but when Robbie's on fire, if you look at some of the wins he's had, they've been really impressive wins. I mean, didn't he crack Craig 2-year quite comfortably? Not like last year, or
he beat Craig with Jez. I think Craig, that was prior to Craig's like shoulder injury. He was still pretty injured at that moment, but I mean, not to take anything away from Robbie's win. I mean, it's still a 75% Craig is still beating 95% of the people here. So
yeah, at Arm Wars, I know John Terrian spoke very highly of Robbie. Said he's ridiculously strong. Said he was a bit too big for him, but he said, he's ridiculously strong. So Robbie Russell's one of those guys that is a name that's bounced about a lot, but again, pretty unproven on the international circuit. I think he's just been active in the US. I'm not aware of him pulling against international top brass.
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him in Boise at Arm Wars.
Mate, I would love to get Robbie over there.
There's two guys that are going inside, and it's going to be, and he's strong. So
the only thing I'd say is that Bojidar is a lot lighter. So
yeah, I know, but
the match that I really want, I mean, you and Bojidar is very interesting to me. The other match that I really like there, particularly with Bojidar heading down to 80 kilos, and I would like to try and get this on the dark card in May, if it's at all possible. I'm working on it now. For our channel members on the dark card in May, I'm looking to try and get Bojidar and Mindaugas Terasaitis, both arms.
Yeah.
That would be great. If I could get that match,
I would
be a killer matchup.
I'd like to pull Bojidar, but I got a plan. If I somehow can pull off this with Daniel, then I want to go for it all right out the gate.
Holy Christ, yeah. Mate, if you pull it, Jody, let's fling you under the bus again, son. He's put your boy here, Doug, is pulling an absolute weapon in Daniel Prokopchuk. I take it you're very familiar with Daniel and his son.
Oh yeah.
So how do you see that going? You've seen obviously what Doug's capable of. We've just seen him with an outing against Coach Ray where he was very impressive. Has he got anything for Daniel in your opinion?
I think Doug having a bigger frame. Doug, what are you, 6'2"?
I'd say about
6'1".
Okay, so already Daniel's gonna have to have a riser of some sort. But your arm length doesn't change. You can use a riser to counteract that height, but your arm length doesn't change. If Doug can use his arm length, he has the power. It's almost like everything I've seen before. If Doug can stop the initial hit, then we got something going on. Because it ain't too many times I've seen Daniel in a war and he comes out on top. Like it's real fast. He'll hit to a certain position, not so much for the pin, but he'll hit to a certain position where if Doug can stop that on the go, and make Daniel work, we're going to see how much he has in the gas tank.
Be interesting to see what Doug could do if he can gain some position on the hand and wrist, because for me, I do see Daniel as incredible in grinding long matches. We saw his matches with Cherkasov. He looked incredible in those pulls. They were screaming wars, won one, lost one. But guy's got unbelievable power, and I think that usually his confidence is really driven by the fact that he's the stronger dude.
Right.
But let's talk about some common opponents or people that, whilst you haven't wrestled him in competition yet, Doug, I know you've messed around a little bit on the practice table with such as Mindaugas. Now, and I'm going to choose my words carefully here, the WAF lighter version of Daniel Prokopchuk, okay? So the sort of lighter weight version of the same guy. We've seen Mindaugas have great success with his hand and wrist a number of times over a number of encounters. So if you were able to get a similar position in the hand and wrist and to get some kind of dominant position, do you think you've got more arm strength from that position than someone like Mindaugas?
Oh, that's no doubt, and that's not a knock on Mindy. But I'm much stronger than Mindy as far as
you're much bigger.
I'm a lot bigger. In my frame, I carry my weight well. Like I said, I'm probably the biggest and strongest I've been in a long time at the weight that I am. Muscular wise, and weight wise, what I'm doing in the gym, I'm 15-20% stronger than I was against Ray. It's not even close. The guys are using 2 and 3 bands at practice right now. So and we weren't before Ray, and my numbers have increased drastically in the gym too. So I know my output on the table is much stronger. I'll get a good gauge this Wednesday. Me and Jaggers, Austin's going to be in my hometown this week. So Wednesday we're getting together and we're gonna practice a little bit. I feel like if I've got anything for him inside, man, I feel like my power's gonna be definitely good enough for Daniel.
Mate, if you've got anything for Austin Jaggers in a hook, you're very, very strong.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if I can slow him down, if I can, hang him up a little bit and see what I can do with him at 184 pounds. I'll feel pretty confident, but I'm not going into the practice to try and beat the guy. I practice. I know how to practice. It's not for, self, just trying to boost my ego, I know he's coming off of arm wars too, and he's probably dead as well. his arm.
Yeah, I mean, for those people who don't know, and haven't, if you're not an Arm Wars channel member and you didn't see the the feed we put out from the house that weekend, good God, Austin Jaggers got in some absolute hellfire matches, ridiculous matches with Mindaugas Stulskas. So I would imagine he's bust up bad. I know he was hurting pretty big time over that, and it wasn't just one arm either. So I imagine
It's scary right now, Neil.
So I would imagine that Austin's pretty bust up across his whole body. I know he was really sore, but we'll see. The lad is powerful. I mean, we saw against Derek, being able to win in the positions he got into with Derek and just muscle his way through. Good Lord. Very, very, very strong lad. So
yeah, he's tough.
184, 187 pounds, anywhere around there, you can do anything with Austin Jaggers.
I'd like to see, what his power feels like anyway. I've never pulled with him, never practiced with him, and he's a top 10 super heavyweight in the U.S. and maybe even top 5. I don't know where he's really at. I don't know
right now in the official rankings. Where is Jaggers right
Jody might know. I don't follow the rankings too close, but he's got to be top 10.
He's on
There's
the
no
rise.
way he's not.
He's got to be on the rise now, hasn't he? I mean, he's just had the win against Derek. He was, obviously took a set back to Tim, but he was.
Well, I mean, even that
there.
Tim match is kind of, you could put an asterisk behind that because some people even thought that the way it was the ref officiated that it could have went Jaggers' way. But what's weird is that we got 2 separate rankings here. We got the U.S. rankings, and we have the in the hook rankings, which includes, North America and Canada. Problem is, they're 2 different weight classes. And it's kind of weird because in the supers, in the hook rankings, you're classified as 243 and over, whereas in the U.S. rankings, you're classified as 231 and over. So it kind of shuffles the whole, the cream will rise to the top, obviously, but it kind of shuffles everything, which can make it kind of confusing at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, top 10 he is.
Without a shadow of a doubt. It's I don't pay too much attention to the rankings, but I would be just in the chat there. Silky Wilkie's saying Jaggers is like 10 or 9, somewhere around there. So he's in the mix. And just to introduce people in the chat, welcome Mika Sakwaradze into the. I'll tell you what, if you don't know this dude, you are missing out.
My man.
What's up? How you doing?
It's an absolute weapon.
Let me just say, his hair though. Look at that fucking mop up there. It looks so. Look at this shit.
Man, me.
Honestly, it would be easier for me to do that. I'm gonna do what you're doing, Doug. I'm gonna do what you're doing.
Man, I need that. I'd never wear a hat.
His hair at Arm Wars, right? Where he was getting, mate, the only thing for him, he got no sleep in about 6 days. Got like no sleep at all. His bed collapsed on night 1. Then he came back from the other house one day. His sleep patterns were all over the show. It was just ridiculous. And his hair looked like that, whether he was in an arm wrestling match, just got out of the bed, just got out of the shower. It never changed. It was the same all fucking week. He's
like Jimmy Johnson.
It looks like honestly looks like he's on a Calvin Klein magazine or something. Look at this guy. I'm jealous. God.
Tell you what, Mika.
Get the fucking guy off of here.
How's the elbows, pal?
Bro. Oh my God. Yo. Arm Wars. Hey, if you guys listen, whoever's out there, arm wrestlers. Yo, what's funny? Dallas told me before I went to Arm Wars, he's like, Mika, just one thing, bro. Like, just remember, you gotta do cardio. He's like, you gotta do a lot of cardio. I'm like, hey man, my cardio is good, but yeah, I'll work on my cardio, He was not lying, dude. You have to be a psychopath to pull at Arm Wars. So all you crazy people out there, if you're crazy enough to go there and to put your elbow, shoulder, neck, back, legs, butt, toes, if you want to put your whole body on the line, your mind, your spirit, that is the place, dude. It was absolutely insane to see all those arms. They're crazy out, dude. You guys are nuts. You know that.
Hey,
Minyard,
Mika,
Mancus, all those
turn
guys.
your
You
phone
guys
on
are crazy.
Turn your phone on its side, then we can see you better, dude. So,
This
there
way?
we go. There he is. Look at that. Now you can see his hair, Doug.
Bro.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm built for arm wars, man. That shit's brutal.
Hey,
Dude,
let me tell you
Jody,
something.
Jody.
Doug, we were the night before, right? We went out for a Chinese meal up the road. I shit you not. This is real. I shit thee not. We're up the road, and Mika's like buzzing. He's absolutely wants to pull. We ain't even set the table up so that he couldn't get on, right? Because if we'd have set the table up, Jody, I'm a lying. If we'd have set the table up, motherfucker would have run on the table that day. He was like, I'm going in. And we get to this Chinese restaurant and he goes, right, just so you know, before I leave this fucking house, I am arm wrestling everyone. I'm going to pull this guy, I'm going to pull this guy, I'm going to pull this guy. He's like going at everybody. And I said, mate, tournament hasn't started. Wait till tomorrow night. All right? Wait till you've done day one, see how you feel. Right?
Yeah.
So, and he's like, oh, no problem. It'll be good, it'll be good. And then the next day I said to him, oh, how are you feeling? You want to pull him? And he's like, fuck you, Patty. I never want to see a table again. It's like,
It's so, because it's like, you know, you're excited, you meet all the guys and you're like, oh, I can't wait to pull it with everyone. And yeah, no thanks, man. No thanks. No, couldn't do it. It was absolutely gruesome, brutal. Good experience. Overall, it was fantastic. Amazing experience. Yeah, it's just crazy. A lot of good arm wrestlers in there.
I don't think Jody's ever sweat as much. Jody,
dude, Jody was on fire, bro.
I think I might have sweated 5
round
pounds.
one.
But I tell you what, Doug, if you're still listening, I'm gonna tell you this: Team USA left everything on the table.
I know. I wouldn't expect anything less, man.
Yeah, no, it was wow. And Austin Jaggers is probably one of my favorite people on the planet right now.
Oh,
that guy's dude, they don't make him like Austin Jaggers anymore, dude. He's so funny.
They don't.
He's so funny.
How is
Dude,
he not
like,
actually famous?
Yeah.
How is he not? How is Austin Jaggers not famous?
Every word out of his mouth is like, it's just like he's a character, dude. Like perfect character. You can't write him in a film better than he is.
Now
He's
look here. I get to pull with him on Wednesday, because I'm excited. I'm good. First time I've ever met.
Oh wow, you're gonna love it. He's
God.
great, and he's strong as shit too. Yeah, he's freaking stud, dude.
Doug,
love
honestly,
him.
I can't even tell you. If you've never met Austin, holy shit.
Yeah.
I will say this though, and I'm gonna say this, and this is real talk for all you guys on here and everyone in the chat. When you have all these different organizations holding tournaments, it gives more opportunity, more options for guys like Mika, for guys like Austin to show their talent. We already know what Paul Lynn and RBJ and Doug can do. We already knew that, right? But when you have Arm Wars, for example, because we're talking about it, it gives opportunity for people like Mika and Austin. I'm telling you, when you give them the floor, they can get in there, they can grind. Neil, you saw it firsthand. I saw it. Mika, we can get in there, we can get the job done. It's just now we have another outlet, so I think it's a good thing,
All I can tell you is this. No. For anybody that's waiting on the Arm Wars Iron House 3 films to come out, Mika's match with Josh Thickskin Davis, I don't even know what to say.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah,
hell. It completely destroyed both men to the point of, total couldn't continue. Both men completely done.
I'll just say this. Probably one of the most challenging, like spiritually, like physically, of course, but just spiritually, one of the most challenging experiences I've ever had. And I've been to a lot of competitions, a lot of my life. I've been to tough spots. That was insane, dude. I was just like, round one, I won't reveal anything, but I told Jody, I'm looking at Jody like, round one, I'm like, my arm is gone. My arm is gone, bro. My arm is gone, bro. He's like, Joy's like, don't worry, you'll be fine. Working on the arm, you know, I'm like, bro, there's like 5 more, 6 more, 20 more rounds of this, bro.
That's the thing. In the battleground, I mean, you could have, you know.
Yeah, they're nasty over there. And Mindigus, Terracite, all those guys, Frodo, Hog, dude, those guys, dude. Jesus Christ. And James Wall and all those guys. And you know what? Mindigus, Dolskis, and Austin was insane.
That was a wonderful.
The first one's already out, right? Neil,
Yeah,
the first one's already
the
out.
channel members have seen the right hand. So if you're an Arm Wars channel member, you'll have seen the stream.
Those are big boys.
On that. But
those
honestly,
are big boys. Fucking back and forth, just insanity. Neil, you have a talent for picking out people, dude. I'm telling you, dude. You pick out people, you're like, this is gonna be nasty. And he's so good at it. And, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, my first Arm Wars. I know I'm gonna have a difficult opponent, but hey, it's my first one. Maybe, you know, maybe they're not gonna give me something like too crazy. No. No. It's fuck you. You come here.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mika. I knew it was gonna be bad. I didn't think it'd be that bad.
Bro,
I didn't think it'd be that bad. I didn't know it was gonna be that bad, actually. I thought it would be a war, but I didn't think anybody would be career-ending or anything really.
Dude, Joshua Davis is no joke. Joshua Davis is no joke. His lock is no joke.
No.
I've never felt anything like that.
It's ridiculous.
I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
He's a
weirdo. Weirdo on his right arm.
It was quite a strange event, Doug, this last event, because you know how we're always talking about, okay, who's the next big thing from North America? Who's the next? And you've got these guys like Adam Wojcinski, and then you should also have who's the most watchable nutter that you can possibly produce and bring over. And I'm pretty sure it's Austin Jackson.
It is.
I'm like 99% sure that it is him. Because
I agree wholeheartedly.
He's like a force of nature, isn't he?
Yeah. I can tell you. I can't tell you half the thing. I can tell you 99% of the things Austin said.
Oh no!
But after all the Arm Wars was done, you know, we had a little hot tub. Like there was a big hot tub, and dude, if you found yourself in the hot tub with Austin Jaggers, you're gonna have a stomach cramp. You get an 8-pack. By the time you're done, you get an 8-pack before you get out.
Doug, you get Austin Jaggers into some bloody John Smith's beers and in a hot tub, and he will seal your faith.
Yeah, man.
Guy's a force of nature, mate.
I can't.
And I want to distill this.
I'm not. My plan isn't to be in a hot tub with Austin Jaggers.
No.
If we end up there, then we do.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be your plan. It doesn't. Austin's awesome. I mean, Austin, I could just forget Austin being in. How is that man not famous?
Yeah, I don't know. He should
because he is you could put him on just a show, any description.
Yep.
Just the Austin Jagger show. And after fucking week 1 of the Austin Jagger show, everybody had been to it. And I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah. He's awesome, dude. And
just put him on.
He's like you can't have a nicer guy too. Like Doug, you're gonna absolutely love it. He's so great. And he's strong as shit too. You guys gonna have good training for sure. But he's warm-hearted, but he's definitely a nut. He's a nut in like the best way possible. He's crazy in the best way possible. Yeah, that's all I'll say. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Hey guys, I gotta get back to work, but Neil, thank you for having me on here. Mika, my friend, we'll keep in touch. Doug, keep training and let us know how that training session with Austin goes.
Yeah,
will do.
Awesome, Jody. We'll talk.
All right,
we'll talk
take
soon,
care, you
bro.
guys. You guys be good,
Jody.
All right, man. Be good.
Yeah, we're not going to stop him too much longer anyway.
Doug, I missed. I wasn't able to catch on to the stream earlier. I was with the fam. Did you guys talk about your match with Daniel?
A little bit.
Yeah. He's probably one of my favorite pullers too. Like to watch. He's a monster. And I was just thinking about your match with him. Do you have anyone that has that weird lock like that? Do you train with anybody like that? Yeah, that's like a weird thing because he has
I mean, if he gets like, so I've seen a lot of his videos, a lot of his matches, man, and he gets into these spots like he's almost got this open arm top roll that he can lay on for days. So, you know, the endurance thing I've been training a lot for, because if he doesn't just, I mean, if I win, most likely it's going to be a war. So, you know, I've been endurance and stuff. You know, I'm only good for 3 minutes, man. You can ask my girl. I'm not really good. I'm not really.
You're more of a dragster than a. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what?
There and go. You know, but
have
we'll
you
see.
seen Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. No. I was just gonna have you seen because Neil put out some videos. Neil, is that for members only? I forget. Yeah, it is. You have a lot of training.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The reason why I bring this up is because, you know, Mindaugas Terrasitis, who you know, is like one of his biggest rivals, and they've fought a lot of times. And Mindaugas is a great, you know, top roller. And I guess in those training videos that they put out recently, if you're a member of the Armroast channel, you get to see those videos where Neil, Devon, like Coach Ray, I think Felipe was there too, where they're talking about, they're basically giving Mindy like some pointers, because Neil's like on him, like, dude, you got it all here. You here, you know, you got to try this and that. And they're going through the techniques and things that they could do to give Daniel problems, because Daniel stops Mindy, and then Mindy mostly statically is trying to.
Game it turned into like Daniel, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't necessarily just Daniel, it manifested itself into being Daniel, because Daniel was his most difficult opponent that he hasn't been able to get round because of being static in that position. But funnily enough, a few moments ago, I was talking to Doug about, and that's why, because I'm interested in, if you get a guy who is bigger, theoretically, you would imagine more power, just red line top end. And if Doug could get to a situation where, because just for people in the chat who don't know, Daniel Prokopchuk is not a very big man.
Right.
This is a guy that pulled in the 154s, 70 kilo class. He's not a very big man. He's not got a very big frame. What he does have is inhuman levels of top end power. The man is so powerful. Through the elbow, he can pull flat wristed as well as anybody that I've ever seen. His ability to hold his pronator when he's in a catching defensive hook, but just hang on to his pronator as a block, is incredible. And I'm very, very keen to see if Doug could get a really dominant hand and wrist position based on the premise or belief that he'd have more top end strength than Mindaugas would have. Whether he could come around, press, whether, you know, what the options are.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And I don't know. Do you like to press, Doug?
I can. I after I tore my pronator and my ulnar carpi in my forearm, I've kind of avoided going there.
Was that the match with Tony Kotowski?
Yeah, I tore. It took me a long time to get to the point where my pronator wasn't like in pain anytime I would even squeeze my fist. So now I will say this: if that's what I have to go to, I'm gonna do it and lay it all out there. I mean, I'm gonna go all out for the win. So,
did you have any surgery on that, mate?
I didn't. So they tore on the backside of the muscle belly, and the doctor told me I didn't need surgery. We could try to rehab it. And then I was going through some shit, so I didn't really rehab the way I should have. It never healed properly. And now it's got like an indention right in the center of it.
Ooh.
Like that, like where it split. Yeah.
I think because against him, like, it's going to be hard. Just straight top roll is probably going to be really hard.
I think I got the power for him. I'd love to test it out inside. I not knowing where he's going to go. I've watched a lot of his training videos, and I can see where he sets up when he hooks, how he sets up when he top rolls. So he kind of gives it away in training videos. I mean, he shows how he hooks a top roller, how he top rolls a hooker. I mean, his training videos are amazing.
Oh, they're
I love it.
Really good.
Yeah, really good. 2-1.
So
Shout
that's
out to
good
2-1.
data for me. But I would love to honestly just test it straight out inside on inside, honestly, because I'm feeling really strong right now.
I don't, what do you think? I think that's a good idea, to be honest.
I mean, I think it's a terrible idea. That's just me.
Oh, you think it's bad, huh?
Oh God! I mean, where Doug was saying he's not a guy that likes endurance. Holy shit!
Right.
I think that's Daniel's absolute forte.
Now, where I'd like to test them out and where the match is actually going to go, if I get to dictate it, is going to be two different things. I'm obviously going to take what route I think is going to be my easiest path to victory. Now, dude, can I get there? I mean, do I have that club in my bag? I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, do I have a strong enough containment? Because his, like you said, his pronator is, it's crazy. Like it is very strong. And if he feels like I'm too strong, and he doesn't like the setup, he may fall to that open arm top roll that he does, to where he tries to burn guys out. You know, now when he loses his wrist, like, to answer your question, because we've sidetracked away from it numerous times. When he loses his wrist to Mindaugas, and Mindaugas can't finish him.
Right. So I mean, he goes flat wristed. He puts up a triangulated block, hangs onto his pronator hard, but flat wristed, and just tucks under. But there wouldn't be a lane to hook him there. He just hangs there, locks it up, and lets you jump all over him. And he almost goes into a very relaxed state there, you know, because he knows he's got such integrity. He's so robust, his joint. He doesn't really panic. He just sits there. You know, when you're blasting away on him, you can see he's a little stressed when he can't find his balance point. But as soon as he sets it, he's very, very comfortable. And he was
Neil,
for a long time.
Like Neil, like Doug, if you can take his hand, do you think you can take his hand?
I think I could take his hand, and I think I can finish him if I take his hand. Like now I know Daniel's a different animal, but I've never lost to somebody when I take their hand in a flop press or anything like that. So Now he is a different animal. He is a completely different animal. I can't base him off of those guys.
No, I know. Yeah, he's very different. He pulls like supers sometimes and makes them struggle a little bit.
Here's a question though, right? So I don't. Again, it doesn't necessarily bear any direct read across. So let's not get carried away and get a semi on unnecessarily. But if you were speaking with someone like Paul Lynn, for example, who pulled with David Samusha, and David Samusha has pulled with Daniel Prokopchuk and got the result. Where was Paul's? What was Paul's feelings on this? Where does Paul put your chances? Does he rate them as very high? Is he confident?
Yeah, Paul's pretty confident. He thinks that he thinks I'm going to pull it off. So that's obviously a good confidence booster for me, because I feel like he knows where David was. And, you know, you can kind of try and put the pieces together. I've gripped up with Mindaugas. Now I wasn't really, I was going 60%. I mean, I was more in, because he wanted to pull me on the practice table when John and Arackley were pulling, and he's like, "No, man, it's over. Come on, let's go." And John was up at the time, and I was like, "Dude, this is not over. This is a freaking match." He's like, "Come on, come back here, let's pull." He was like, he didn't want to watch the match. I was like, so I was in and out of the room trying to watch John and Arackley, but when we did grip up, I felt enough to know that if he's cracking Daniel with that I feel like I can.
Interesting. Very, very. I mean, like I say, it's hard to get the read across, because I'm pretty sure Paul would say that David has increased and improved since they pulled.
For sure.
You've improved, as you said earlier, significantly. You just come back in, and now you're in a different mindset, in a different place, training harder, more focused. Everybody's bigger, stronger, better. So it's hard, but from, like you say, from that subliminal sort of confidence booster, when you put your head down at night and thinking, yeah, this is what I'm going into. I've still got weeks to work, but I know that the level was kind of there, and I know I've improved a significant amount. It's got to give you that little bit of a boost. It's got to just G you up a little bit, you know. And I know you've pulled with some other really strong lads. I know you've pulled and trained with the likes of Justin Bishop, who is no bum.
And Justin and Mindy just pulled, you know, so I kind of know where I'm at with Justin.
Yeah.
I know where Justin's at with Mindy.
Where are you at with Justin? How do you do with Justin?
Well, inside's not. It's not. I'm way too strong there. But now him let hit.
Right.
If me and him ever pulled a real match, it going there is very unlikely because he's hard. He's a hard guy to hook anyway. But top roll for top roll, where I mean, depending on how we set up and hit, I mean, I feel like we're 50-50 in outside move. So, which Justin, in my opinion, that's a big confidence. And that was months and months ago before I'm at where I'm at right now. And I know Justin isn't in full training mode, but his hand is really hard to deal with. So that's a big confidence booster, knowing that Justin tells me he thinks I'm ready, Yeah.
Right.
So
it's a very similar situation, to be honest. We've got a couple of super chats coming. I'll get those in a second, guys.
When Justin does take my hand, though, I feel like I'm able to stay locked in, and I can still go sideways, kind of with side pressure, and still drive sideways. And I think that if I get into a position where me and Daniel are both like pronated with our palms facing each other, and it's side pressure for side pressure, I think I can win there. So
I mean, wow. That's mate, it's like I said earlier, okay? Zurab right now for Rob represents the opportunity where you kind of can't lose.
For sure.
And I big up Rob. And I will continue to big. What's the right way of saying it? Rob, to me, he's almost like that. He's like an uncut diamond. You know what I mean? He's like Vitor Belfort in UFC. You know, when Vitor Belfort would show up one day and he'd just put somebody's head into the fifth row. And then another day he'd show up and he may not be that incredible, but everybody knew that if that guy shows up on any given day, he is serious. And that to me is Rob all over. When he's focused and the chips align and everything racks up right, he is very, very serious. But I do believe he's going to be an underdog on most people.
I watched a lot of those matches today. I saw Zurab and Zoloev and then the guy that won the last one, can't remember his name, and he pulled him in the finals, and Zurab beat him in the finals. And Gashevsky beat Zoloev in the 85 kg though, right? He went 0-2 in his own category too.
When you looked at the AMC tournament, did you take that as a physical thing in terms of, do you think Zurab was just looking good physically, or did you what did you think about his sort of demeanor, the way when he was approaching the table? I mean, to me, he just seemed when he faced Sagov in the final. That's the guy you're referring to. Yep. So when he faced him in the final, when he faced Zolaev, he seemed, to me, extremely calm. Like, no, I mean, if you're facing Zolaev, even if you think to yourself, okay, well, Hadji's not in the best shape, he's not super focused, he's still bloody Hadji. You know what I mean? It's still a very, very big threat. And if you go up there and you're that confident against the likes of Tainov, against the likes of Ibrahim, and you don't worry about them, that says to me that you are in a very rich warm of confidence. Your confidence is peaking. And I do think, as I've said many, many times, that arm wrestling, like any combat sport, is 70%, 80% what's it going on in here. You go in there and you're absolutely ready, firing on all cylinders, makes you hard to beat. So Robbie's going to be facing a guy that is right in his, he's in a rich vein of form. His confidence is absolutely through the roof. So it's a great opportunity to just go bananas, because you can't really lose. How many people are going to see, honestly, how many people do you think will have Rob as a favorite in this? How many people do you think will see RVJ as
well, I don't know. It's hard it's hard to pick him. I mean, for me, I know what he's capable of, and I know that none of those guys are Rob. He's not going to have the same bite on those guys' hands that he on Rob's hand as he did on those guys' hands.
Mm-hmm.
Rob is going to be smart, and those matches ain't going to start like that either. They're going to go to a ref script. They're going to be flat. They're not going to be carved in, diving into it. Like if you watch, I mean, him and Zola, him and Sago or whatever this guy's name was, he beat in the finals. Both of them, they were all diving straight in. It was all straight to the hook. There was they knew where it was going. They were already almost started in a hook in all those matches.
Yep.
I'm going to be screaming at Rob to go to the ref script. And Rob likes to wrench off his thumb. And Rob's hand is not something that is easy to deal with. And Zerab's hand, I felt his hand. It's smaller than mine.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, I'm just going to knock over a couple of super chats real quick because I'm conscious that I haven't done. I think I got one from Silky Wilkie, got one from Robert. I want to just go back and find those. Just bear with me a second. So, Silky Wilkie, thanks for your super chat, mate. He's put, I took 45 minutes and 2 whole vids to prove a point to Mindaugas Terasatis. And even after, you needed Devon to sign off on the arm wrestling theory. Classic Mindy. Oh, mate. I love him. That's my guy. Terasatis is my guy. He's ace. Mastered arm wrestling. He's mastered it. And he is a magnificent arm wrestler. There's no doubt about that. So Robert Gould is here in the chat. Robert, thank you, mate, for your super chat. It's actually for you, I think, here, Doug. He's put, Doug, if you beat Daniel, hit me up. I'll give you a $500 bonus. There you go.
Let's go. I'll take it.
By the way,
anytime I can get some cash that I can spend on some more food.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm ready.
So
let's go.
Robert, that's Robert's super chat. And he's put, by the way, I made weight by 4 pounds and got first right and second left. Oh, top job, mate. Tremendous job, Robert. Coming on.
He came on our pod the other day with me and Rob and Paul and said he was going to cut. And I knew he'd make it.
Oh, good lad. Absolutely excellent stuff, Robert. Good for you, mate. Tony Farina with a super chat. He's put, hey, Neil, loving the show. Mate, thank you very much. I wasn't going to stay on here long because my voice is knackered. I feel like shit and I'm ruined. But Mika, Doug and RBJ came on. And here we are. But we will bugger off in a minute and let people get some sleep. We'll give it 5 minutes or so. But first of all, White Wolf has come in with a super chat. He's just put, Neil, tell the chat that I'm not Mika's dad.
Dude.
Dude. I'm sure Neil. He has a wonderful and great dad. Although I am an ex-merchant marine. So you never know.
Neil, have you seen White Wolf?
Mate, I have never had the pleasure of meeting White Wolf, but I have seen him on the Arm Gods feed when he was on in Ireland.
He is my doppelganger. He's like the older version of me. And the chat was mentioning it because I went to the North versus South event that we had in California. I went to spectate and support. And then they had an after party and White Wolf was there. I had to go home. And then they're like, oh, he looks like Mika. And I was like, who looks like Mika? And then I go on there and it's literally my long lost cousin or something, man.
Mate, you know who White Wolf reminds me a bit of? You know the original Roadhouse movie?
Yes.
You know the guy that not Dalton, not Patrick Swayze's character.
Right.
The other dude that's like the cooler, and he's what the fuck is his name? He's called something like, is it Pat Garrett or something like that? I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that comes in on the Harley, and he's like the old mentor of Patrick Swayze's character. You know the guy I mean? Ties his hair.
Yeah. The kick-ass guy. The skinny tough, but he kicks ass.
He looks a bit like White Wolf, doesn't he?
Yeah.
White Wolf thing going on. Awesome.
Absolutely. I thought it was me.
Yeah,
it was
White
hilarious.
Wolf is in the original.
Love White Wolf.
Gentlemen. There you go.
White Wolf is the man.
There's another vicious rumor started on the fix. How's that?
Another rumor that I want to demystify. I mean, not that many people know this. Just for those of you who think Froda Hoagland does not snore. So you can be his roommate just perfectly fine. I did it, made it out safe. He's a fantastic roommate. Can't ask for a better roommate. He does not snore. But I'll tell you, I won't tell you who does snore, but there is one man in the house. Neil, you were staying in the other house. I was in the other house. So you can kind of cut the arm wrestlers in half and start taking guesses. this guy, I woke up in the morning to go to the restroom, and
Right.
as I walk up, okay, I'm gonna try to emulate it. Okay, hold on.
He's fucking muted himself.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
muted.
I was like, who is that?
You were on mute. We didn't
we
get
never got any of it. We didn't hear it.
It was so bad you didn't hear it. It was, dude, it was like for like 30 fucking straight seconds, dude. I was like, who the hell is that? And I'll just keep that a secret. I'll keep that a secret.
Let me think who's in that house.
You know who
Oh,
fucking
And it's not the
snores?
big guy. It's
Hey.
not a big guy.
You know who snores bad, Neil? It's Justin Bishop. We're rooming together, and terribly. And I'm sleep. I'm in the other bed, and I would wake up and I'd sling pillows at him and hit him, and then pretend like I was sleeping. And I'd smack him in the head with pillows, and I'd just lay there and act like I was sleeping. So, and I'd hear him jump up.
Oh my God.
mate.
There's nothing worse, especially when you have competition the next day, dude, and you already can't sleep, and you finally pass out, and you just hear this like Darth Vader snore, bro.
I'm gonna take a few flying guesses here. Right,
All
let's
right.
go with Tom Holland. Because hey, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, right?
How do you
Because-
know?
Is that right?
That's him.
Yeah,
My man
right,
Tom, my
okay.
best man.
Because Adam Johnston from Ireland,
Yeah.
and he said, "Holy shit!" Tom Holland is the
Dude.
king of snoring. He said he's like world class.
You know, Tom Holland is like one of my favorite polars. He's so violent at the table. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He's
yeah, he's
intimidating. His snoring is levels above that.
Way
Levels
more
above.
intimidating.
He can't touch his arm wrestling can't touch the snoring levels, bro. It's next level shit. No joke. And his roommate,
I thought
his roommate,
right?
Jason, right? Jason.
Jason
He's
Hill.
immune.
He's in the-
He is
No.
immune. He has a genetic code that he was born with that makes him immune. Because when he came down, he was smiley faced. He came down, he was smiley faced with rested eyes.
Ah, so
And I'm like,
Tommy's in the-
Jason, you were
hey,
Tom's
Tommy's
room.
in the chat.
was
Tommy's
like, you
in
were
the chat here, and he's put. I was upstairs as well. And
I was downstairs.
It's usually
I was
fatties like me that get a bit of a snore on. Oh man,
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Rose.
I love you, Tom. I love you, dude. By the way, how is he in the chat? Is Tom
Yes.
in the chat?
Yeah. So
How
link
is he, by the way?
in the chat. I think he's.
How
Popped,
does?
I think he's popped a rib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After pulling, mind you,
I think he's popped a rib.
out of all places.
He fucked himself
Wow,
up
it was.
after the show. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, he didn't have enough. So the two dudes that already killed each other went on the table and said, "Hey, why don't we try that again?"
Why don't we try and destroy each other even more?
Absolute
Before
maniac.
we bugger off, right? I was on the train a couple of years ago with Eddie Hall going down to do a thing called the London Marathon, right?
Yeah.
And Ed has 40 winks on the train as we're going down there. Do you know when you fall asleep for and it's not
Mhm.
like 5 minutes? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it
Right.
was so lovely sunny day in summer. We're going down. We've met early, met at the station. Jump on the train, go down. We're in first class. Have a couple of coffees, bit of breakfast. He just puts his head back like this. And you know when you do the old snore, that's so powerful it wakes your ass up. Like you scare the shit out of yourself. And when you snore, it's so it's so aggressive that you're not sure what the fuck happened. I was mucking about on my phone and I hadn't noticed that he dropped off. And he sort of went, his head went back like this, and then he went like.
He woke him.
He
woke himself up.
had this man, and I was on my phone, and obviously he's a unit, isn't he? And he goes bananas and flipped out, and his whole body went. Whoa. It scared the shit out of me. And there's an old woman about 60 odd.
Oh my
With a
god!
cup of tea, and she threw it all down. threw this cup of tea all over herself.
I can imagine Eddie
She
too,
was
bro.
chilling out, looking out of the window on the drive down to on the train ran down to London. She's looking out the window, really serene, you know. And she's
Oh
like
my
this with a cup of
God.
tea. And
Oh my
suddenly
God.
Eddie Hall gives it gets his arms out and she threw the tea all over herself. And Eddie came out and went,
Oh,
this
dude.
woman's looking at him like, you bastard.
Dude,
You know, oh, quality stuff,
that's
mate.
awesome. I love it.
Love a
I
good
love it.
snow. So what are we at now? I think it's about 11 o'clock over here. So we're going to get off here. Anybody that's tuned in tonight, if you can give us a like, guys, give us a like, give us a share, give us a sub. That will be great. If you are not, are you on YouTube, Mika?
Oh, I did a video or two, but I'll get going again. I'll get going.
So, do you know your email? Your
I think
YouTube
it's
address?
I think it's Mika. You can just type in Mika arm wrestling. I'm sure it'll come up.
Get over and sub to Mika Armwrestling. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this guy. Let me
Yeah,
say.
I'll pop some stuff out for sure.
A lot
Thank
more
you.
of this guy. Some of the
Thank
stuff
you, man.
that this guy's
Thank
just
you.
put down in Arm Wars. Holy shit, that will.
Hey
keep-
Neil, I just started in IG, Neil. You need to go check it out. I got some
Hey.
recent stuff of me on there I want you to see.
Mate, I saw a picture of you the other day. Quality. Absolute
I
quality.
think I'm following you, Doug.
Get over and follow Doug.
Let me see.
Dude is carved out of marble.
Yeah, dude.
was it-
The other day, the one where you're in the black robe.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dick pic I sent you.
Oh, that. No,
No?
that's just for me.
Oh, okay.
That's just not. That's
I want to get in on that club, bro.
different. Yeah, love a dick.
We'll add you to the group chat.
It's called Doug's Classic Dick Pics. And he
Doug,
said,
when is your match? When's the date of your match? It's in East versus West, right?
May 6th, yeah.
Yeah.
"Coming now,
I'm
innit?"
rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.
Let's go. USA, baby.
Appreciate it,
coming.
brother.
So I've just also noticed that I think Jake Ward is in the chat, Aussie arm wrestler. Now I'm going to throw him under the bus by saying he'll probably be going live. Actually, no idea, but usually does after the fix. So if you are in here, get over, check out Jake. He'll be going live soon. And I think that's about the size of it. We'll probably wrap it
Ready,
up.
bang, baby.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say massive thanks to Doug, to RVJ, to Mika, to Geordie Chocolate Thunder.
Thank
for
you,
checking
guys.
us out. It also give Chocolate Thunder some love. He's on YouTube, he's on Facebook. Get over there, check out Geordie. Loads more to come. Remember, we got East versus West coming down the tracks.
May 6th,
We've
May
got
6th.
a shitload of stuff for the Arm Wars channel members coming in April, and then May. We got Dark Card 2.
Oh,
Dark Card 2. It will be headlined by No Limits Devon Larratt. Who's he going to pull?
Who is he gonna pull?
The clues are out there. If you look at things that have gone, there's already been some clues dropped. We've had nobody guess correctly yet. Who's he going to pull?
I don't even know.
Other great matches on there as well. So
Yeah, I
check
don't
it
know.
out, guys. We'll keep them going in. Doug, thanks, mate. Appreciate you tuning in.
Sir.
Mika,
Good
thank
seeing you, Doug. Neil, thank
too,
you.
brother.
Love y'all. Have a
Have a
great
good
rest
one.
of the
All
day.
the best to you and your families, guys. Biggity bong, motherfluffers.
You too.
Ciao.